welcome to Tune of the Month and happy November. I'm Mari Black. This month I have for you a really fun old time reel. This is called the Sandy Boys. Had a bunch of requests from you guys to teach this one, and I don't blame you. It shows up all the time in jam sessions. Fabulous to play for dancers and just a really fun tune in general. But we're not just going to learn Sandy Boys. Oh, no. We're going to use Sandy Boys as a laboratory, an opportunity to make some exploration discoveries here, because Sandy Boys is one of those tunes that when you hear it, sounds awesome. But when you look it up in a tune book to see it written out, it looks boring. It's a bunch of quarter notes and half notes. What do you do with that? So how can we take the boring skeleton of a tune and turn it into something stylish and dancey and super fun old-timey like this? Supposed to sound like. If you are just listening, have fun. I'll see you next month. And if you're ready to learn it and to enter into this laboratory of turning written quarter notes and half notes into real old time style, let's dive in. Okay, so in order to do this, the thing we have to recognize is that when old time tunes are written out in mostly quarter notes and half notes, what is being written out is the skeleton of the tune. Right? That's the skeleton melody. And there's a lot of fleshing out that happens that's not really a part of the tune, it's a part of the style, right? So we're actually going to start by playing the skeleton. That's the best place to learn it. And then we're going to go through some different steps of fleshing it out to make it sound more and more old-timey as we go. And what this will do is give you not just one way to play this. Each flesh out is its own tool, and you can use them in different combinations to get different variations, if you will, on the skeleton melody each time you repeat the tune, and frankly, each time you play it. So we're going to open this playground wide with lots for you to do. Okay, so we're in A mixolydian, A major minus a leading tone, 2 sharps, F sharps, and C sharp, but then with your G natural. And that right there is the first part of the A section. Let's start with that skeleton melody. I'll play it just by itself. Ready? And part 1. Part 2. Back to part 1. Ending. Good. Sound it up with me. A, part 1. Part 2. Back to part 1. Ending. We don't really need to break this down very much, do we? Can you figure that out by ear? Rewind the video if you want a few extra tries at it before I tell you anything. Yeah. So these quarter notes at the beginning, that's just this top of the A mixolydian scale. A, and then, now it doesn't really matter totally what bowing you're doing right now, because we're going to build more bowings as we add layers. But right there, that's important bowing technique that I'm doing there. We've done it in past Tune of the Month old time videos. I call it a scoop slur. So rather than playing right as it comes, which makes this feel like ga 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 gong, pretty square, I'm using a scoop down. I call it a scoop slur because I'm scooping up those two notes on the up bow together. Down, scoop, up, up. Right, down, scoop, up, land. Try that skeleton with the scoop bowing. It already makes a difference. Yeah, not bad. Then we got 2 pickups. Part 2. Well, that's easy. It's the same beginning. And then just sit on the root. Good. Back to part 1. 2 pickups. Use the scoop. Good. Ending. So you notice I used the same scoop again. 1 pickup. 1. Did you catch that scoop bowing? Or if you're not playing a bowed string instrument, you can make that sound, right? Good. Do the whole skeleton again. 2, 3. Part 1. Scoop up. Yeah. Scoop. Ending. Good. Do it again. Part 1. Part 2. Back to part 1. Scoop it up. Ending. There you go. Okay. So that's the skeleton. That's probably pretty close to something you'd see if you look this up in any old tune book. And absolutely does not sound that awesome. Right? It's cool. The A Mixolydian sound has this cool kind of like open-ended, like eyebrows glued to the roof of your head kind of feel. But I'm not going to dance to that. Are you? No. So we got to add some style in here. We got to make this thing old time by adding layers that old time players automatically do when they see quarter notes. Quarter notes just represent an opportunity to add in style. First old time move, get your drones going. All right, now we've done a lot with drones in past tunes of the month. Basically, I'm going to take any open string that belongs to the chord that I'm playing and hum it along with a melody. So in this case, I'm an A Mixolydian. I'm playing up here. My A string is open. So why don't I just play it? And notice when my melody drops onto the A string, my E string becomes available to pick up that drone. So check it out. Drone A. So that little switch, that's a very slick thing. Old time players a lot of times will just be playing on the same 2 strings. If the melody's on the bottom string, they're droning the upper string. If the melody's on the upper string, they're droning the lower string. And it works because A and E are the root and the fifth of A, right? The chord of A. Try that part 1 with the drone. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's play the whole way through the A section. How much can you drone? You'll notice it already sounds more old-timey. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget that's a scoop. Catch the drone when you get to the ending. Notice I'm using my 4th finger, E, and my open string E to get that unison drone. Really important sound in old times. So I'm still double stopping the whole time, even though it's a unison. Sounds much better with 2 strings. Okay. So already that adds quite a bit. We're still not kind of toe tap and dancing. We're missing some very essential rhythmic elements, yes, which we're going to get to in just a second. But being able to just throw those drones in goes a long way to fleshing out your old time accent. This would never be written out on the page because it makes it look a horrible mess. There are a bunch of things that in folk music we play, but we really don't want to see, right? Even if we think we want to see it written out, if somebody actually writes it out, it looks horribly, horribly, horribly ugly. If you think I'm kidding, all you have to do is go find a tune book like the Portland Collection, or just look up on Traditional Tune Archive or something like that online, look up Sandy Boys, print it out, and draw in the drones, right? Like write them in wherever there's like a A note with your finger, write the A note open string, fill it in, and watch what it does to the page. It makes a horrible, horrible mess. Nobody wants to see drones because they're not important enough to draw your eyes to. They're just an additive flavor, right? So if you're ever wondering, well, why don't they write in all those drones? Because it looks awful. Nobody, including you, wants to see that. You have to know they're there, right? All right, so here we go. We've got our drones in. Now, we need some rhythm. You ever wonder why they're quarter notes and half notes written out in old time music? Well, because the rhythm comes from the bow. And particularly this technique that we call the rocking bow, it has some string crossings. Now, the easiest place to show this to you to begin with is actually in part 2. So let's play part 1. Scoop. Here comes part 2. Aha! So did you see this? Rather than just going 2 half notes there with my drone, I am, during that half note, rocking my bow. And I added a little neighbor tone on top there. You hear that? That's the rocking bow. It gets a string crossing in, and it turns it, instead of a half note, into 2 quarter notes. Well, not even quite quarter notes. There's a little anticipation in there. Again, you don't want to see it exactly, the rhythm. You just feel it. And I'm scooping up that neighbor tone. You got it? So that's a really important figure. Do it one more time. Put that little Sandy Boys theme before. Yeah, do you feel how there's an anticipation? I start that rocking string crossing ahead of the beat. So this guy is ahead. This is 1. And 1. And 1. And 1. Yeah, okay. If we keep going. I can do it there again at the end. So I'm using a hammer-on. I hammer on my double stop. And then here, even though it's a unison, I'm going to use just the lower string and scoop up the top. Lower bow. It's bow, lower bow. It's bow. Bam. You feel that rocking bow? I'm getting more rhythm out of my bow by using string crossings. Okay. So that's a really important gesture. Anytime you find yourself sitting on a note, like for a half note or pairs of half notes in old time music, that's your chance to do the rocking bow. Requires a drone, and it makes, you're using, whether it's a double stop, 1 string, or 2 strings. Yeah, and it's the scoop bowing too. There's a reason we did that in the skeleton. Okay, so let's get really even cooler. If I have, right, and I'm droning it, couldn't I make those string crossings? Yeah, I sure could. So look what I'm doing. I'm playing the double stop on the down bow, and then releasing just to the drone on the up bow. Both drone, both drone. Now scoop up, land. Yeah, do it again. much cooler once I have those double stops and the hook, not hook, the scoop bow. Rocking bow. String cross. Yeah, a lot of elements are starting to come together now. Do you hear it starting to sound dancier? Try that again. Use every element we have thus far. Put your drones in. String cross on the Sandy Boys theme. Get the rocking bow anytime we sit on a long note. The high A in part 2 and the low A in the ending. 1, 2, 3, and a cross, 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 scoop. Cross, 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 rocking. Cross, scoop. Rocking. Yeah, all right. So that's already getting better. Now, I like those string crossings, but if I do them every time, they get a little pedantic. So if I can create eighth notes with that string crossing, couldn't I take them away? Now notice I'm doing that rocking bow. You see that application there? 1, 2, 3, scoop up. That's a nice little variation. Longer notes gets me my anticipated rhythm and the rocking of the string crossing. Try it again. 2, 3. Okay, what if I combined that hold across, that rocking bow rhythm and alternated it with the string crossing rhythm? Now, I'm not going to tell you which ones I choose. We've got 3 Sandy Boys themes, a part 1, a part 2, and a part 1 again. Any of them could be string crossings. Any of that could be that rock across. You choose what you'd like for all 3 options. I'll choose what I like. We may match, we may not. Either way, it's cool. A 1, 2, 3. Repeat. Much more old-timey. So you may notice the patterning that I like when I have 3 times to make a choice. Like I have the 3 Sandy Boys themes and I can choose the string crossings or the rolling scoop, right? It doesn't have an official name. I like to choose 1 and then 2 more of the same because it feels kind of lopsided. So that first time I did string crossings, longer and longer, and then I repeat, I did longer string crossing, string crossing. Or maybe it was the reverse, but something like that. I like doing 1 and then the same. That's just a personal preference. It's a way of making things feel familiar to the audience, but also feel like I'm mixing it up. So you can play around with all the different orders. Alternate, do all one time one way, and then on the repeat, all the other way. Suddenly you've got some real stuff to work with here. All right, so let's play 2 A sections, and it's now your choice. You have multiple options for each part now. You can use the rocking string crossing or not. You can use the this guy or just plain, right? Plain starts to mean something when everything else is rocking. Play around with these ideas and see if you can make an ad-lib old-time Sandy Boy, a fleshed out skeleton that has an old-time accent on it. 1, 2, 3. definitely think it's probably sounding more old-timey. Way more than this. But you can hear how that's still in there, right? We still very much have the skeleton. It's very much Sandy's voice, but you are now adding the old-time style stuff that we don't want to see on the page, right? We don't want to see anticipated rhythms. It just looks like a nightmare to count. We don't want to see drones. It just gunks up the page, make all the extra black dots looking like you have to think about them a whole lot. You don't. Just add the extra voice. All right. So with those ideas in the water, let's look at the B section. And we can do this one a lot faster because you have the same tools. We're going to start with the skeleton and then look at how to apply the style layer by layer, but more quickly because now you know what it is. All right, I'll play the B section, just skeleton. Really is boring, isn't it, just by itself? All right, good. Boring's good because you can learn it fast. Here's part one. Part two. Back to part one. Ending. Try with me. Part one. Part two. Back to part one. Ending. Yeah, it's nice when it's boring because it's quick and easy to learn. But even as you're playing it, you're thinking, oh God, where would I ever play this in public? Don't worry, we're going to make it cool. Now, it's already kind of wanting to be cool, isn't it? Because that part one, doesn't it already want a drone? Rather than just playing that open E, go ahead and put your fourth finger down and drone them together. It's a fabulous sound, that unison, yeah? And just keep the drone. Already better. Try it. Part one. Good. 2 pickups to part two. Okay, you saw I did that scoop bowing at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Scoop up. Right? It gives me that scoopy feeling that we want for old time style. It also makes sure that I'm down bow for the next downbeat, right? So I'm already using fourth finger, right? Already using fourth finger for that melody because I'm going to add, you guessed it, my E string drone. Already better. You add the drone plus that little scoop at the end, way more convincing. Do it again, part two. Good, let's go back to part one. If I unison this, couldn't I also do the rocking bow? Right? Hammer on the first one, lower string, and both strings. Together, low together. Yeah, now we're getting there. Let's do that much of the B section thus far. Part one, part two, part one again, and then we'll pick up the ending. All right? Technically, we're doing the skeleton, but we're already fleshing it out. Put in every drone and rocking bow you can. Ready? And part two. Back to part one. Here's my ending. Right? It's almost like the A section. Is it exactly like the A section? Pretty close. Notice I played the melody with the fourth finger, so I can more easily add my drone. This is one of the big reasons that when people tell you that fiddlers don't use their fourth finger. They are lying. By omission. Maybe they don't know about this, or maybe they're not old-time players. Old-time players use their fourth fingers all the time because that's how you get that unison drone, right? And if I practice the melody with my fourth finger, it's much easier to just add in that top voice drone. Now you know. All right, so you have the whole B section and we're already sounding more old time. We didn't have to go through playing it exactly how it is on the page in your boring tune book, right? Because we're already adding the drones and we're already getting in a couple little rocking bows. Are there other places you could put rocking bows in? Let's play 2 Bs. See what you can discover. 2, 3, and... Part 2. Back to part 1. Another beat. Okay, already working much better. Already much better. Now, I have a way that I really like to play this part 1 of the B section. So this is really fun because it's a back-to-back rocking bow with anticipations. So I have this guy that we already worked on, right? But then rather than squaring this off, I'm going to keep the same pattern going. Check it out. Oh yeah, the melody stays the same. I'm just nudging the rhythm around a little bit to give me a second rock. First rock. Second rock is going to be to the D. D, C sharp. Yeah, back-to-back rock works very well, super old time. Try it again. 2 pickups. 2, 3. Rock 1. Rock 2. There you go. Try it again. 2, 3. So notice what makes that work. Second one, I have my hammer on the first guy. On this guy, I'm going to release the drone. Right, just the low string, then bow. That's the rocking string crossing of the rocking bow. If I don't pick that up, it's going to feel a little heavy and not totally old time. So I'm toggling between being just on the low string and then being on both. Try it again. Bow, low bow, bow, low bow, land. Yeah, 2, 3. Yeah, part 2. Do it again, double rock. Ending. Yeah, so just that. Now we're way more convincing. All right, but I'm going to push it one more layer. So far, all the old time style we've been adding has nothing to do with actually changing the pitches of the skeleton, right? We haven't touched them. We've added drones to them and we've nudged them around rhythmically, and we're playing between whether we're just on the drone or on the drone plus the melody note. But it is entirely a legal move to add in some extra melody notes. And the part 2 of the B section is a great place to do that. Those are mostly quarter notes, but there's no rule to say that we can't fill in those eighth notes. So I'm using the same pitches, and this is just one way to play it. By the way, I don't play it the same exact every time. I ad-lib with this, We've worked on ad-libbing melodic melodies in melodic ad-libbing in past Tune of the Month videos, so you can go and look at more techniques there. But I'll show you what I was just doing. It's one of my options. And I'm using my favorite, the smooth hook 3 bowing. 1, 2, 3, scoop up. Extra. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And I'm kind of fudging how I get down bow for the next downbeat. It's a little different every time, but I'm basing it on the smooth hook 3 bowing, which we have done in many past Tunes of the Month. Slur 3 down, slur 3 up, and 2 extra. Try it. Pickups are extra. 1, 2, 3, scoop, 2, 3, extra. Try the whole B section. Double scoop. Variation. Double scoop. Ending. Double scoop. Nice. And if you like that fill-in variation, you could do one on the ending too. You don't have to do. You could do it. Or right? I'm just playing with those same 5 notes and finding shapes that I like that come out on time on the A note. That's my melodic ad-libbing, which I can absolutely do to any part of this tune. I don't have to, but I can. Fields wide open. Wow, you guys. Okay, so it's a whole bunch of layers, right? With not that many tools. Add drones, use rocking bow, nudge around rhythms to get anticipations, adding in 8th note string crossings or melodic ad-libs. That's basically all the tricks we did, but we're looking at direct applications to Sandy voice. So just for funsies to finish out, let's play through the whole tune once. We'll play a little under tempo so you have time to kind of think ahead. You're gonna feel that when you're playing like this, you don't wanna like hyper plan every note, right? You wanna kind of allow yourself to be a little loosey-goosey ad-libby, and it means that things won't go according to plan 100% of the time. If it doesn't, that's totally fine. Just jump right in on the next part, right? Part 1, part 2, part 1 again, ending, and make sure you're down bow at the beginning of the part, and it will all work out fine. And the more you play this tune, the more you're gonna find your personal favorite ways to play each part, and then you can mix and match in increasingly favorite ways. All right, let's do it. 2 A's. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Repeat, part 1. devices that we did in even like slightly different ways. For instance, B section part 2. I did the 8 notes for half of it and then went back to quarter notes for the other half. Did I plan on that? No, absolutely not. It just kind of happened. And I noticed it and went, that's kind of cute. I figured out what I did, and now I'm able to do it again and also relay it to you. So that's how it's going to work out. Anytime you find yourself doing something that's kind of cute and kind of fun, just notice and be like, wonder what that was, and can I do it again? Right? So this is really going to help your improvisational playing using the old time style, because the ad-libbing is just built into the voice. And it's a great way to get comfortable with this kind of improvising within an established frame. It will give you a much more authentic old-time voice. Plus, you'll keep surprising yourself, which is way more fun. All right, well, I hope these ideas are interesting and useful to you in your playing. It will work great for Sandy Boys. Also fun to go and try out on a bunch of old-time tunes that you already play. Could you do this in The Kitchen Girl? Could you do it in Ida Red? Could you use any of these in Ducks on the Mill Pond? Hey, who knows? Go play around with your favorite old-time tunes and see what you can discover. And if you like Sandy Boys, keep playing it. And if it helps you to see sheet music for Sandy Boys, I will, as always, send out my personal handwritten version of the sheet music with my email newsletter, my monthly email newsletter. So if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you already have Sandy Boys in your inbox. And if you're not, you can go to my website, www.mariblack.com, and sign up, and you'll get future tunes of the month coming to you. If you miss the email where I send out Sandy Boys because you're in the future, don't worry. You don't want to see it anyway. And I'm not going to write out that much of the style. I'm going to write the skeleton of the tune and remind you, try drones, try string crossings, try rocking bows, and then you're going to be off on your own. Because if we were to write down the exact transcription of everything that I just did, we could. But if you saw it and if I saw it, I'd run screaming from the room and say, no, thank you. But hey, if you like collecting dots, who am I to stop you? Hope this is fun, you guys. I'll look forward to catching you out in the real world for a tune and back here virtually for more tunes here next month. Thanks for playing.